it felt like a Mack truck on my shoulders every time I would walk around, and now I feel unloaded and I feel free and light. BetterHelp is an affordable way. It's online, okay, and you can get help within 24 hours, and it really is an insane, great, affordable service. Tell them more.
BetterHelp wants you to start living a happier life today. Visit their website and read their testimonials that are posted daily. Visit BetterHelp.com/belly. That's Better, H-E-L-P, and join the over 500,000 people taking charge of their mental health with the help of an experienced professional. Special offer for TigerBelly listeners. Get 10% off your first month at BetterHelp.com/belly. Enjoy the show.
Can I ask you guys something? is that I donated money and then
well, myself and Nick and Freddie Scott, we are all obsessed with the band Tool. Went to see them in LA. The three of us didn't really know each other that well, if at all, really. And we decided to get dinner before the concert, chatted about it. We were like, oh man, we're all in deep. We all love this band.
Yeah.
And Nick made a joke at some point. He was like, if they announce more dates, we should just follow them, do our shows to make money to buy tickets to see their shows.
Wow.
And we kind of laughed about it. And then when they announced more dates, I started thinking about it, and I was like, oh, this is one of those unique things where even if we make no money and even if, whatever, when we promote this, no one else will be promoting this type of thing.
Of course not.
And so I was like, oh, maybe there's some traction in that.
Yeah.
And so we decided to book some dates, follow them. I went on Conan. He was like, do you have something to promote? And I was like, well, I'm doing this tour. I could announce that.
Yeah.
So I went on and joked about that. The guitarist for the band saw that. He messaged me, and he was like, I'll hook up tour passes, and you guys can come to the shows and stuff.
Awesome.
So right out of the gate, I was like, hey, we don't have to take the money we're making to buy tickets. He's like hooking it up. So right out of the gate, we were like floor seats, 8th row.
Oh my God.
Backstage passes. We went backstage right after the show. We like met him. So he let us do this every night after their shows. It got to a point where it was known we would just walk back there and hang out. His whole crew, we'd start going back there. They're like, it's these guys. All right, he's back like through there. And so we kind of met the other members of the band that way.
Goosebumps.
And then this is my favorite band since I was 16.
Oh my God.
And now here we are in their world, and maybe because of the business that we're in, of entertainment in general, the illusion of things being magical behind the curtain, we already know that's not what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you already know, like, oh, everyone's people, and behind the curtain, everyone's just doing a job.
Yeah.
And so going into it, I was like, oh, I hope that's what this is.
Yeah.
And going behind the curtain, I was like, oh yeah, these are 4 dads who are very good at their band.
Yeah.
And they're just very normal,
Right.
very nice. There's no ego at all about how successful they are. They even thanked me for going on Conan and talking about their band.
What?
And I was like, you're welcome, but you do sell out 20,000 seats. I don't know if you need me. I think you're doing great.
But it's fucking funny because Nick used to be my opening act for many years, and he would go on and on about the band Tool.
Yeah.
Right. How they're up there in terms of like the Beatles and whatnot. Right. And in my mind, I'm like, there's no way. And so I don't have a CD player. I buy everything off of fucking iTunes and shit.
Yeah.
Right. And so I didn't know anything about Tool. So I would Google it. I mean, go to iTunes Tool, and it would 2 things would come up, and they were like songs about hammers, and you know what I mean, like not the band Tool, but I would listen to it, like preview it. The hammer goes like this, and the nail. You know what I mean? All that
You were
stuff.
listening to children's songs?
Yeah, I was.
You're like, why does he love this band? This is ridiculous.
I didn't like it. And then what happened was,
the screwdriver says to the hammer, hey. Why does he like this? The Beatles? He thinks this is the Beatles.
yeah. So then what happened was, as soon as they put their stuff online, right, I bought all the albums.
Yeah.
And I listened to them from beginning to end. And let me tell you something.
You truly did do that.
I swear to God.
I love that you did that.
Listening to it, and in the beginning, once you start listening, I think I didn't start with the first album. I think I started with the newest one.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
From beginning to end.
Yeah.
And it's like a journey.
Yeah.
But I also love, I grew up with Metallica. I like harder stuff as well.
Yes.
But this is a fusion between that and something artistic.
And like Pink Floyd,
Yes.
and like Led Zeppelin.
Psychedelic.
It's like psychedelic,
Yeah.
but it's heavier. But it's not metal. It's heavier, but it's not metal to me.
It's not metal. No.
Yeah.
But when it gets hard,
Yeah.
you can feel it in your fucking bones.
Yes.
You know how it builds?
Yes.
Like in the beginning,
It's
it's like
the
some
best.
sort of noise.
Yeah.
Right? And then it's like it builds, and they're like, usually Papa only likes 2-minute songs. 2 minutes, I'm out. That's
Yeah.
why I never liked the Grateful Dead. Right? I don't want anyone to jam in G minor.
For 21 minutes?
For 50 minutes. I got shit to do, right? But with fucking Tool, so in my mind, and I'm saying this right now, in my mind, they're probably in my top 10 of all time. And for me to
that's great.
know nothing about them and to have them in the mix of the Velvet Underground.
Yeah.
I love Roxy music. I love the Beatles, Stones, all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Pixies. They're in that now, in my head. And it's so, and imagine not ever seeing a Tarantino movie and being able to see all 8 of them.
Right, yeah.
Right? That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
It's-
Well, there's a depth to it. I mean, those bands that you're naming, none of them were making music to sell records. They were like, no, this is what we make.
Yeah.
And if people like it, then they end up liking it. And
Yeah.
that's what I love about Tool. Like, to make 10-minute songs from where they're coming from, people will be like, no, make them 3 minutes. Like, make it radio friendly. Not that that's even a thing anymore, but they're not like that. They're like, no, the natural progression of the song, that's just how long this has to ends up being. And they aren't wasting your time because it doesn't feel like 10 minutes. You're right.
Do you believe in manifestation?
I do. After this Tool tour, I 100% believe it.
Right?
Yeah.
Because
I genuinely think I've died, and now I'm getting to live out this thing. And as soon as it ends, someone's like, you've been dead for like 4 years. And I'm like, okay. Yeah.
Do you
that
ever
makes
get
sense.
those moments of, I don't know if you suffer from anxiety, where you have to check whether or not you're actually living?
I don't know how to check, but my mind does wander into the realm of there is no way for us to actually know any of the things we've convinced ourselves that we know.
But what do you look at in your room that convinces you that, okay, I am in fact still alive? Because there are moments
Nothing.
where I'm like, oh shit.
Nothing.
Nothing.
You know what I think? I think
this.
when you die,
Ow.
you're unaware that you died, and you just keep living, and everyone else in another
hope that's the
alternate thing
case.
is like, oh, we're so sad about
what?
we lost you, and you're like, you don't even know. There's so many levels of existence.
That's
You don't
actually a
even
comforting
understand that you're. I tell people. I was like, what if I died in a wreck on the way here? I was like, the good news is you just never know. And you just keep thinking, oh, I'm still alive. But you don't ever know. And everyone else in reality, if we're calling it that, they know you died. Anyways, does that have anything to do with math and acid?
Yeah, but
Is that at all what Evil Dead is like?
85 years old,
Yeah.
if you're 85 years old, you're old.
Yeah.
So then eventually, I feel like when I'm 85, I'm going to think to myself, okay, any second now.
Yes.
Any second. Oh, that's not it.
But here's where this comes from. Like taking it like 85 and you're like, well, I'm going to die. People tell us like, okay, so when you do die, you're told that either nothing happens and that's just how it is, or people, religious beliefs of being like, well, no, then you go to like heaven or you go to hell or whatever the thousands of different beliefs could possibly be.
Yeah.
But the reality being like, what if what if death isn't something you're aware of? What if, because we think it, we're like, oh, I'm so afraid I'm going to die. Like, sure, in the moment, but what if in a horrific moment, everyone goes, oh my God, we all saw I hate bringing this up, but sometimes this makes me feel better about situations. But what if right now, in an alternate reality, Kobe's just fine, and he doesn't know that this has happened, and he's living his life, and there's this family, and that's just how it.
But what I'm saying,
You're not seeing the lake house with Sandra Bullock?
I know, but people, what I'm saying is Kobe in
And
this
Keanu.
alternative life, right, will eventually turn 90 and he's going to die.
But you don't know that you haven't been 90. Every second,
what you're
you're
saying is
convincing
you'll forget-
yourself.
Oh.
You're convincing yourself of a past, and you're convincing yourself of a future. But realistically, those are not actual things. You're only like all your regrets and all your fears and all your aspirations. That's all good to have, but literally, there's only the moment you're in is the only one you can actually see.
So what you're saying to me is
Ramdas.
that Kobe,
Exactly, I
maybe,
think it probably is.
Kobe never really.
I just follow a lot of different motivational instincts.
that Kobe
Third eye.
didn't experience the helicopter crash.
Yes.
That that he all of a sudden that's forgotten, and he just woke up that day, and a completely different thing happened.
Or in his life, that helicopter landed, and that he coached that game. They got back in the helicopter.
Yeah.
He still exists. It's not that he's like existing with the people that are aware of it. He just. I think it's. And people go, well, what do you think logically happens when you die? Logically, and the most simple version, you probably die, and that's just it. And people go, that's so depressing. Like, what? How can you be depressed of things you unaware of if you don't exist?
You're so right, because if you
Let's do it. Oh, you noticed.
the observing mind, babe.
Yes.
Yeah, but there is something behind my thoughts,
Yes.
right? That's observing
Your third eye.
my third eye,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So when I'm behaving in a bad way, like I'll snap.
Yeah.
But there's always something behind it, watching myself do it.
Yeah.
Right? And I feel like that's my true self.
Yes.
Right? And that other stuff is just like my brain, or like because
Ego.
of my ego, and
Yeah.
because of my history, it's tied to some sort of trauma or something.
Right.
Why I react that way. But I am always observing, you know what I mean, the way I'm doing it. You think that my God.
It's your nobodiness.
Yes.
Right? Like everything else, that the angry Bobby and all that stuff, that's the somebodiness that we're supposed to get rid of.
Yes.
Because it's actually, that's where the ego lies, that's where the pain and suffering lie, is in your somebodiness. Ram Dass.
Imagine
Yeah.
someone picture someone who isn't constantly in conversation with themselves at like all times.
Yeah.
Like I am talking to myself to the point
Same.
where it's so much, and I'm so certain that we all do it, but it's so much that I'm like, oh, am I crazy and I don't know it? Like, do people shut this off and they just sit there, or am I a lunatic who is constantly having a conversation in my head as though I'm observing my own life, almost like I'm two different people?
Yeah.
But I'm not. It's I've always observed it as healthy. I'm sure there can be, we know for a fact, there can be unhealthy versions of that. But in my mind, it's always like, a pep talk to yourself, or a motivational thing, or, when you're dealing with stress or grief or whatever, and you're trying to collect yourself. I picture people who don't do that. I'm always like,
Yeah.
what is in there?
Rory,
What's going on?
the goal is,
I want to be empty-headed. That's
Yeah,
my goal.
It does feel like Zen, right?
and what have I been doing every night?
Are you talking to me? Are
meditating.
you asking me?
No, no. I wanted to prove the fact that every single night now I meditate.
Yes.
Right.
And he
Great.
falls into these really deep slumbers that he's never previously.
Yes.
Yeah, because it felt like a Mack truck on my shoulders every time I would walk around, and now I feel unloaded and I feel free and light. BetterHelp is an affordable way. It's online, okay, and you can get help within 24 hours, and it really is an insane, great, affordable service. Tell them more.
BetterHelp wants you to start living a happier life today. Visit their website and read their testimonials that are posted daily. Visit BetterHelp.com/belly. That's better, H-E-L-P, and join the over 500,000 people taking charge of their mental health with the help of an experienced professional. Special offer for TigerBelly listeners: get 10% off your first month at BetterHelp.com/belly. Enjoy the show.
Can I ask you guys something? is that I donated money, and then
Oh, I was going to say the opposite. Okay.
let's go serious first.
My question is about your creative process in dealing with rejection. I'm a fiction writer that has yet to be published in a real fiction magazine. I'm also an addict. Back in college for a couple of years, I wrote stories frequently and productively that were generally well received, which turned out to bolster my confidence and creativity. 2 years after graduation, when I started receiving rejection after rejection after rejection by publishers, I began to lose confidence and became hypercritical of my work. Like you, Bobby, I've always overanalyzed situations and crucify myself internally. I've reached to the point where I can't even write a paragraph without a voice in the back of my head criticizing every word. I know that opiates are demons and they aren't making me better as a writer whatsoever. Yet I don't know how to regain my swagger and write about without overanalyzing my work. My question is, as an artist who is also far too critical of your own work and an addict, how do you shut up the thoughts and doubt in your head?
Oh my God, it's like you talking about the meditation answered this question. Chicken or the egg? That's what just happened right now.
My honest answer is just you can't live in the results, number one. A lot of times I do things and I go, what is it going to get me? Why isn't this not happening? You know what I mean? It's just like you
100%.
just do the fucking work.
Well, exactly what you said earlier about the bands like the Velvet Underground making music because that's what they wanted to make.
Yes.
Not because they were looking for an end game.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Velvet Underground's first album, the Banana one with the Andy Warhol one, sold 500 copies. And but there's a legend and a rumor saying that the 500 copies that they sold, everyone that bought that album started a band.
Yeah.
Right. So they didn't have financial success based on now it obviously over the years has made money, but that album influenced a lot of people. But in in New York back then, back in the factory days, they probably didn't no one probably even mentioned it. Right. They probably thought it was like a failure, maybe.
Sure.
So it's like, for me, it's like when Rory and I first started doing stand up, we
were best friends.
We were besties, man.
We were absolute besties. And then Bobby goes, "Promise me this. For a super long time, we'll pretend like we don't know each other. And then I'll have you on my podcast." And I go, "What is a podcast?" And he goes, "Even I don't know yet." Even I don't know.
Yeah. But you remember back then doing it, it's like you didn't, you would sign up. Sometimes you would go late, no
Yes.
audience,
Yes.
right? And you did that night after night, and I honestly swear to God, back then, I would do shows and think to myself, I'm probably never going to make it. I can't
Of course.
see. I don't know how to get an aid. I don't know anything about it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? There's no one in the audience. They're giving me 3 minutes. But you know what? I did it because by performing, it gave me like a little adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
And it also was the first thing where I did that was brave.
Yeah.
Because I was such a coward growing up and just kind of scared and shy, and I was proud of myself that every night I could just go up there and make a fool of myself, and that alone, I could have just done that for the rest of my life, but fortunately, I created a career off of it.
Right, to sort of like go off of that answer. That first like 3 years is probably the best it ever is, and you don't know it. You don't know it at the time how good it is, but also it's because you're not clouded by fame or fortune, because no part of you has any concept that will ever happen. And not that you want it to happen, but you don't even think that that's like a thing. You just are like, oh, I discovered this sort of underground world of comics going on stage in these places. But also it probably felt so good because ultimately that was probably your first introduction of who you are and ultimately will become. Whereas you were like perceiving yourself to be this person. Then you did this thing, and it was almost like you were saying to yourself, oh, there I am. That's what I do. This is what I do.
You literally I almost MJ'd it right now, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because think about how you got good at it. Like if that wasn't who you were and what just your thing, you wouldn't be sitting here. You wouldn't have gotten this far. I think we both know that you can't really, in stand-up, I don't think you can really fake it. You know what I mean? Like there are, like when people are like, oh, that person steals jokes. Most comics are like, well, I hope they don't steal my jokes, but you're not going to get very far doing that. Like there was a time when you were offended and you wanted to kill them.
Right.
Then there was a time when you were like, oh, you will either learn to not do. I mean, your first time going on stage, you needed a joke. You stole a joke, and think how quickly you were like, oh, that wasn't the right thing. I got to clean up this mess that I did.
No, yeah.
But there's some people who go, well, no, it's working, so I'll just keep doing it. And you go, oh, you don't even understand what the pure thing of it is because you're not supposed to be doing this.
Yeah.
No,
It's not for you.
It's like in the beginning, I thought that jokes was it's not the jokes.
I know.
It's me being authentically myself.
It's you.
Yeah.
No one is paying for the jokes.
Exactly.
They don't care about the jokes.
I can really relate to this person because I think that not being an addict, but somebody who has had a lot of like abuse in my life, abuse turns into perfectionism. Mm-hmm. So for me, I had to reframe the idea of rejection or abuse and not take it as not render me paralyzed, basically. So if there's a way for you to sort of reframe that rejection and not really see it as a rejection rather than like, okay, this is just all part of the process. Because what happens with me is that I never fully follow through with a lot of things in my life because, I was beat constantly by my mom for the tiniest thing, for the tiniest error. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if that's a part of his history, but when I go to therapy, that's something that I constantly struggle with is to be able to take a negative and not have it feel like an attack to my being.
Yeah.
So to kind of change it so that it lands a little softer on me so that it feels like fuel rather than a reason to go hide in a hole somewhere.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that the rejection thing, I don't think there is this world where that ends.
Exactly.
I don't think it ends. I think you write what's good, and like you said, you can't worry about the results. I think that's a great point. Right now I'm sitting in an abyss of rejection where I've made this documentary and I don't know if anyone's going to buy it, and I actually think it's very good. I've made this TV show that I don't know if anyone will ever see it, and I actually think it's pretty good. For my first stab at like doing a TV show, I've written this other thing, and all these things are 3+ years, 2 to 3 years of like putting these things together and making them. I've written this other thing that I think would be so fun as like a comedy special, and no one is biting on it, but saying this is a good script.
Yeah.
And so I'm in this point of going, well, what do I do if I create stuff? Like, why would I create it if I can't push it past the next thing? And so I am myself similar, and I also wrote this letter under a pseudonym.
James Scoville? Is that you?
Hi. Anyway.
You're so right, though, because let's suppose publishers did bite what he's written.
Yes.
The rejection doesn't end there. You could be rejected by the public. You could be rejected by critics. You could be rejected. The whole way through till the very end is one giant rejection.
I think I'm trying to figure out, because it's not me. This will make sense. It's not me, but I'm trying to figure out how to be more this Hunter S. Thompson of, this is what I fucking wrote. Now fucking read it, and even if you like it, fuck off.
Yeah.
Not that I love that,
yeah.
and it's not me.
Yeah.
That's not who I am.
Right.
But I'm trying to somewhat absorb this element of like, just make the fucking thing and get it out there in some way, as opposed to me looking at this show as the end game of like, that'll be the jumping point.
Yeah.
What if it's not? What if no one ever sees it, and one day Viacom's like, you know what, you can just put it on YouTube? Would I then go, well, no, it deserved this better home? Or would I go, yeah, I just want people to see it, so that maybe it leads to the next thing?